have to confess, I'm not sure exactly what the big society was meant in the recent election, and I don't think a lot of people within the Tory party probably understood it. But if you're asking me in a general, what does big society mean? It's pretty difficult, because if you look at recent times, yesterday we were watching football, and there was a common cause in that competition, and you could see a hell of a lot of people coming together and celebrating an event. So that was probably a good example of seeing big society, but it was quite a narrow event. This exhibition here, there's a lot of people who are doing very similar work across the country, and doing it in completely different ways. Would you call us a big society? Well, we're a group of people who are working in a particular way in terms of trying to help the community. And I think that's probably the link, is the family, the community. You know, it'll be different levels at different times depending on what the issue is.
I think what makes a strong community is involvement, making them feel part, or if you like, driving what their services will be. And I think that's what makes a strong community.
Two things really, but probably a single cause, a difficulty that people are working with. They have, there's a clear objective. It's not, it's not confusing that people have a completely different interpretation of things. So in our line of work, for example, it might be antisocial behaviour, unfortunately, say as an example, that people are working on, and they want to see that happen, see some tangible responses.
Especially with the housing association, the way it works with a lot of big estates, that's good to have that sense of community.
Do you think we need a community, or do we want a community?
I think we need one. I think this day and age, especially with the internet sort of, some say, separating communities up.
Most of it. I think it's the first thing we've got to do is actually build up trust. Because if you promise things you can't deliver,